My God, look at what happened.
Good morning, Candace.
Hey, let me see who's
Oh,
in. No, it's good. Oh, hey, how are you?
good. How are you?
Good. Let me share my screen. Okay, so what's up? Format of office hours is just whoever drops in can ask questions, do whatever.
Okay, perfect. So, I don't know why my earphones are not working here. Okay, so I actually emailed you regarding the custom supply and demand indicator for Thinkorswim and for TradingView. Is it possible to get that?
Yes, so give me 1 second. Studies. Let me figure out how to do this. Studies. No, 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 no. I need to say, hmm. Okay. Basic SD. Share. Boom, 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 boom. Let me name it basic supply. Basic SD indicator. Share. Okay, so is it already copied? Let me see. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there it is. Okay, so let me also we'll put it in the Discord. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna create a new channel in the Discord called, I don't know, additional. Trying to think, where can I put it that it's always gonna be there? Mm, I'll put it in the questions tab. New post. Think or swim supply and demand indicator.
So when we click on the link, how do we manually add it to our Thinkorswim?
When you click on it, what does it do?
Let's see here. Okay,
Oh,
so
you know
basically,
what? I'm sharing my screen. Do this instead. Do go to your Thinkorswim and under setup. Oh, it's because this is right here. Go to your setup and then say open shared item.
okay, let me log in here.
Here is the supply and demand indicator for Thinkorswim. Let me know if that worked.
Okay. Sorry, it's just logging in here.
Take your time.
Does it matter if it's on the live trading or the paper money account? Like it can be added to either or.
It can be added to either one, but you need to add it to, oh, yeah, you can be added to either one.
Okay.
I was gonna say you need to add it to both separately though.
Okay.
Like if you use, I gotta like that if y'all are home by yourself, you're like, hear something, you're like, who is behind me? Okay, in your Thinkorswim, go to settings and click open shared item. This is I don't have anything specific to talk about today. So if you anybody who like wants to ask questions or anything, was anybody following the market today?
Yeah, I was looking this morning. I just started, so hi, I'm Lexi. Nice to meet you
Nice
officially.
to meet you.
I probably just started hopping on the charts like last week, so I still have no idea what's going on, but I was not seeing any supply or demand zones. At least I was looking at MNQ. And so I was just curious, like, what your thoughts are, like, when you hop on and you're not really seeing anything obvious, like, what your kind of next step is.
Sure. So you said you were looking at NQ.
Yeah.
Let me look at it. So when I just don't see anything, like there's nothing nearby, near where price is. What time frames do you look on?
Um, let's see. I was looking at, because I know on, at least on your TikToks, a lot of times you talk about the half hour. So I was looking on the half hour.
Okay.
Specifically, I did kind of look at the 15-minute a little bit, but
Okay, gotcha. Give me one second. Okay, so I chart basically, if you look at this thing right here, it's got like all the way from the 12-hour on down. And
Mhm.
the reason why I do that is to make sure, because like if you omit some time frames, like you might not see levels. So I
Yeah.
just go through any and every level that I see. I'll come back to NQ, but just to give you an example, I go through any and all levels that I see because today, all that I saw, this actually wasn't here. This 30-minute formed around market open. I'll go find it. But I wasn't seeing a lot of um, things on the lower time frames. Oh
Mhm.
my God, this looks hideous. I'm sorry, you guys. But on the 6 hour, we had this, this candle hadn't come here yet. So on the 6 hour, we had this nice demand zone right here. And, inside of that demand zone was a 1 hour. So I just look all over the place because like there were no 4 hours, there were no 2 hours. I just look everywhere to see where I can find something,
Okay.
even if I trade on a lower time frame. So that's kind of the point of looking at everything is that you can see you won't miss anything. There might be a level on one time frame that wasn't somewhere else. And then my next step, if I'm still not seeing a lot, then I wait for the market to open and I chart levels as the market is going, right? So 15-minute levels, 30-minute levels, there's a new candle every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes. And so this was the 9:30 candle. And this big push up that it had gave us this demand zone right here. And if you guys look on a smaller time frame, this is the one that I was looking at today, that bounce price. It bounced it twice. I mean, shoot. Oh my God. Okay, it bounced price twice. So it gave us this 30-minute in the morning and then it, chopped around a little bit, but it came down here and bounced price once. And then again, it came in here again and bounced it twice. So I just will wait for a level to form throughout the day um to see. And then this one formed during the day, so it wasn't here yet. Like if you look at the levels in the daily levels section, this area was here, the 6 hour demand with the 1 hour demand. And I think I said that I was going to look to trade it because it was so wide. If you were looking for a smaller stop loss, you could trade it at the 1 hour and look what happened. It came right down here to the 1 hour and bounced price 24 points or something like that. It also gave us a small bounce here right at the level. So yeah, I just look all throughout the day and all around. Like that was a 6 hour and a 1 hour and a 30-minute. You just gotta look everywhere. Let
Okay,
me
got it. So in the morning then, like you're charting the pre-market, like before.
yeah, so I get on here at 8:45, 8:40, 8:45, and I get on here around 8:40, 8:45, and I just chart then. Then
Mhm.
because I work, so like today I had a meeting at 9. Like I just sometimes will have stuff to do in that 9 o'clock portion, but I always just look at the market and see what happened. Like, did the 9 o'clock candle give us something? Because on Thinkorswim, the 9 o'clock candle is closing a 2 hour, a 1 hour, a 30-minute, and a 4 hour. So I check back after 9 to see if anything else happened at that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm on NQ. Let's just look around. What was this? I don't know what this was. And NQ might have been like, sometimes it can look really similar to ES.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Why is it not letting me zoom in? Okay. All right. What is really going on? There we go. Yeah, so NQ also had a 6 hour right here. It hasn't reached it yet. So this again looks similar to ES, where ES did give us this 6 hour demand, but we've already tapped into it and bounced off it once or twice. But yeah, so here was a 6 hour here. Got a 6 hour supply sitting up top that hasn't been touched yet. That I could, if I were you, I would go ahead and chart this because it could hit, what time is it? 12. It could hit later this afternoon over the Globex session, which is like overnight, or tomorrow. I would go ahead and chart that one.
Okay.
Let me go down to the 2 hour. Yeah, nothing much. Yeah, it was kind of similar. The only level we had down below on ES today was that 6 hour level. Okay. Where did the market open? 8, 9, 9:30. Okay, yeah. So we had that. NQ had that same demand zone here. Um, that formed at 9:30.
Okay, let me look.
Yeah, that's kind of what I have to do. Now, I don't really talk about it much in this like boot camp because it's just like basic supply and demand boot camp, but there was also on ES, sorry, I keep doing that. I feel like there's something in my teeth. But I also mentioned that we had like the gap. So like that would have been something else if there was just absolutely nothing going on today and we had no intraday levels. I would have waited for the gap to either reject off of or fill through. Sometimes I trade like trend line breaks. This one would have been like this right here. But um yeah, sometimes I trade trend line breaks, like 15-minute trend lines. Those are like very reliable. You can trade either bounces or breaks off of them. Like this trend line got a touch right here and then it came down here and bounced right back up. And then this time broke through for a good move. But this is not something that I do like every day. Every day is like mainly supply and demand. These are not like super reliable because like you never know. Like, yeah, we had a touch here, then we had a bounce here, but was it gonna bounce here or break here? You never know. Sometimes you have to wait for a break and continuation off of these. So I don't really like teach that or trade it much. I feel like those are more risky trades. But yeah, days like today, where like if you found like nothing, those are not very common.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure because I'm on Pacific time. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I'm like intentionally starting to wake up early. So this was literally
Me
my first
too.
being up early. I was like,
Yeah.
is this normal?
No, 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 yeah. Usually it's a lot going on. And the person I learned options from, she lives in like California, LA area, something like that. So like she always was up trading the 9:30 session. It just is more volatile. Now, if you want to wait, you can also trade what they call power hour, which is like they say 3 to 4, but I would probably get on like 2:30 to 4. That's Eastern time, so it's a little bit later over there. But that time can be volatile as well.
Okay. You said 2 Eastern time?
2:30.
2:30. Okay.
To 4. So those are like the most volatile times in the market, like the 9:30 open up until like 11:30, and then 2:30 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. when the market closes. They call that like power hour.
Okay.
Hey Candace,
So
I
I
have a
tried
question.
to,
Oh, sorry.
oh,
My bad, my bad.
Candace, so I opened Thinkorswim and I tried clicking on your link, and it said that there was an um, error importing shared item.
Hmm.
Is there a way to just manually add it?
Yes. Dang, this must, I wish I could make this work. Let me see what it does. Preview. Invalid characters. Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so there is a way to manually do it. All right, so it imported right here, but it's fine. I might have to add this to the thing. You can enter the script yourself, so give me 1 second. Let me finish posting this to the question and answer section, and then I will do that. Patience, did you have a question?
Yes, I did. So, I'm looking at MES. Is the micros the same exact chart, just a different ticker?
It's like almost the same exact chart. It's off by a little bit.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, just by like a teeny bit because it is it's like just the smallest negligible amount.
Okay,
Like
okay.
yeah.
So I saw that there was a 30-minute supply zone that was made around like 10 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But when you mark a supply zone, you're marking the bottom of the candle where it opened and the top of where it closed, or the top wick of the second candle.
Okay, let me get back over here.
Okay, because I always forget. And I'm in micro E-mini.
Oh, you're in MES?
Yes.
What are you looking at?
So it's
You
like
know,
a
I mean,
level.
what charting platform
Oh,
are you using?
I'm in Trading View.
Okay, let me go open Trading View. Can you guys see my can you guys see my like internet screen or just is it
Yeah.
just and decline. Sorry, I'm on Trading View. And I will say this, I even like today entering I traded both. What do I have right here on Trading View? I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what this is.
But yeah, I was in a 30-minute.
30-minute. Okay, let me go to the 30-minute chart. Okay, and I'm going to share that window now. But I'm gonna tell y'all for real, all that I do, I just keep Thinker, and you can chart wherever you want to chart. I keep Thinkorswim up, and I'm looking at ES only, and I still enter and exit whether I'm doing like I do MES on that small account that I'm doing, and then I do ES on my Take Profit Trader account. So even though I'm entering different types of contracts, I only watch the ES chart.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do it either way you want. I only watch the ES chart. So let me am I sharing? Yeah. So you were talking about this candle right here.
Right, like that's a supply level made, right?
Okay, so typically I would say yes. Be careful when the bottom wick is so long that it goes past
Okay.
your big move candle. And I know that I teach, we look at the candle bodies,
Yeah.
right? But this And this was a special case because this candle was really wild because we had two little news events, like one at
Yeah.
9:45. So it was a little bit
Yeah.
wild. So this wick might not be like truly indicative of what was going on, but sometimes I am more careful when we have when these wicks are like super long and they kind of overtake the candle that you're looking at. But
Okay.
yes, if you're looking at candle bodies only, yes. So where I will mark it is at the open. Okay. At the open of the candle that came in front, the open of the opposite color candle, which is right.
Okay.
Um, and remember green candles, because they're starting low and going high, they open at the bottom of the body.
Yeah.
Yep. So that is where.
So, so you wouldn't count this as a zone, would you? Or it'll be a 30-minute zone.
It would
So,
be a 30-minute zone, yeah.
so I like put the blocks around it, like how
Okay.
you do on the 4 hour
Mhm.
sometimes. Where would you mark like if it was a box, where would you mark the top of the box?
So the top of the box, so when you find a zone, okay, you are these two now become like they're a pair, like they're together. You
Okay.
have your balancing candle and your imbalancing candle. You have your large move and then your tiny candle that it engulfs before it. So
Yeah.
what you do, you put your box at the top or bottom, if it was reversed, of the
Mm-hmm.
highest of the two candles. So
Okay.
do they have a square here that I can get?
It should be like right at the top. Um, it's,
Oh Lord. I don't know. Sorry. But
I'm trying to see it too. Oh,
oh,
oh wait, no, it's not. I thought that was it. Go down, right? Go down one more. Wait, no, yours don't look like mine. Sorry.
was I
I
right
must
here?
have had mine set up a little bit differently.
But
Yeah, it was right under my little Fibonacci candlesticks. I don't know where yours is.
oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have a here. I'm just gonna do this right here. I'm gonna use this. So essentially I would draw it from the bottom to the top of the
Okay.
highest.
Okay, because I was confused because when you take it down from 30-minute, like
Mhm.
go to like 5 minute,
Yeah.
I seen that the level or the wick went above it. So I had it at the close of the green candle.
Okay, so
So,
that's something. This is just something to train your eye on when you're trading levels that like just form. Because honestly, to me, I love some of the best trades happen when it hits right after it's formed, right?
okay.
Like you'll see
Yeah.
the level form and then the very next candle it'll hit and give you a move. I love when that happens. However, you have to learn to train your eye because to know which candles were a part of the supply
Mm-hmm.
and which ones are not. So if while you're still getting used to it, do a vertical line and mark a vertical line behind your candle. Like, oh, well, this is not, maybe this is gonna work. In Thinkorswim,
Okay.
you can put it exact. This one is
Okay.
like making me snap to a thing. So put it behind your candle, because this is the 9:30 candle. So if you put a line behind it, you'll know. Let me go to the 5 minute. Now, anything that comes after, you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I was like, yeah. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. And it
Okay.
actually was this one here. So maybe go to the
Okay.
lower time frame and move it because it got triggered right here.
Okay, yeah, I'm like, because I'm
Yeah.
thinking even before that, I'm thinking that's when it got triggered. Okay, so that
Yeah.
makes sense too.
These candles made up those 30-minute candles.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So you
Okay,
have to kind of train your eye to look beyond that when it happens so fast after.
okay. Thank you for that. Because I didn't even realize that I was
Yeah.
struggling with that. Okay, and then my next question should be my only question. My last question, I mean. With the supply and demand zones, if the engulfing candle is like not like right lined up with the previous candle, is that still a like solid supply or demand zone?
It
Or
depends. Yeah, it depends. Usually they line up pretty well. I mean, but if
yeah.
they're off by like a couple of ticks, not like a couple of
Yeah.
dollars, but if it's off
Okay.
a little bit, it's okay.
Okay.
You mean like,
Okay.
for instance, if we're on the 5 minutes, so I don't mark
Mhm.
5 minute zones, but you mean like these are perfect.
Yeah,
These,
those are perfect.
yeah, sometimes it's a little bit off, especially
Yeah.
on larger time frames, it might be like a little bit off.
Okay. Okay, then yeah, that makes sense.
Mm, okay.
And you said that Thinkorswim allows you to put in 250 starting with?
What do you mean?
like the amount of cash that you can deposit because I think I'm ready to start using real money now. But
Oh,
Webull is making me put for futures, it's making me put at least 500. So
they make you. Somebody else said
yeah,
that today on
yeah, that's
TikTok. They were like,
yeah, Webull makes you for futures, that is. I think for options it's like any amount, but for futures it's like legit like minimum 500. So you use NinjaTrader for your broker?
Ninja Traders who I use, and you just put however much money in there you want.
Oh,
Like they
I could
don't.
put a quick 50 in there.
Yeah, I mean, you need to put more than 50, right?
Right.
Because
Like
yeah,
like
put like
10.
however much you're willing to risk on the trade.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, people are like, oh, it's requiring me to do this and that. And I'm like, with Ninja Trader, I could literally just go and deposit $30 and they'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, your money's sitting here.
So for MES, what is the amount that you can start like what's the minimum that you can trade with?
$50. One
Okay.
contract on MES requires you to have $50 in your account. Now, they're not going to let you place a trade with that because if it goes even one tick in your away from your direction, that's negative
Okay.
$1.
Yeah.
They're not gonna, you have to put $50 plus like a little
A
buffer.
little bit. Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's why I started with 200 because it's like if you have 200, $50 is how much you have to your kind of buffer amount, but then that leaves you
Yeah.
150.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
150 divided by 5, because if you're trading one contract, it's 30 points. You could
Yeah.
trade, you know what I mean?
Yes, that makes sense.
So yeah, I was literally getting so irritated with people on TikTok, like, oh, don't you need initial margin? Ha ha ha.
Yeah, no, no.
$50.
Weeble for sure. Weeble for sure. And
Okay.
how long does it take for a Ninja Trader to come up or like get registered?
A long time. So what I do, I set up a wire from my bank.
Yeah.
That took like, I don't know, you just however your bank does it, you fill out a form or whatever. And when you do the wire, you can wire the money to NinjaTrader and it's gonna be there in like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's what I do. If and then like when I take money out of NinjaTrader, it's there quick. Um When I did it the very first time, I did it with like a card. Like they let you do like a debit card, like actual
Yeah.
money. No, like you send it, then it takes 3 days. And if it's over
Yeah.
the weekend, it takes forever.
Yeah, Weeble is the same way too. Like I couldn't even use my regular debit card. It said it wasn't like so she said it with the card.
Yeah, like, and
Yeah, I have to do
there's
the wire.
so many hoops to jump through. I was like, they
Why
need
are
your
they making it so
ID.
hard? But I was talking about like the actual account though,
What you
like
say?
like when I say register, the actual account, like, because I've been in Trading View this whole time in Webull, but now I'm considering going to Ninja Trader.
Hmm.
So I know that Trading View and Webull had like it took like 5 days for the account to finally like open for me before I was able to even start looking at the charts.
Gotcha. Okay, okay.
So do you know how long it takes for Ninja Trader to come up?
You just said over the card. Sorry, I just saw that chat. Yes, you will be waiting.
Okay.
No, you said Ninja Trader to come up where?
Like come like get the account. Like like after I register the account, like with the new email address and everything.
Oh, it should be really quick. Like it should be like instant almost.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just do it.
It should be like instant. And then when you start when you add like still when you add the other information, I think it was like maybe a day and a half
Mm-hmm.
after I did like
Yeah.
all the other
Okay.
verification. It wasn't long at all.
Okay. Okay then. Well, yeah, those are my questions. Thank you so much. You just makes this so crystal clear. Oh. You switching to Discord. I
Yes.
have a different email that's in my Discord. I think I keep missing the conversation that you have every time. So how am
Yes,
I supposed to get into
because
the Discord?
okay, so let me put the link here. Yeah, how do I invite people? Invite, copy. Okay, so let me put this in the chat. And this will like get you access to the Discord. And then once you get inside, hold on, let me put this in the chat. Once you get inside, this part that says get access, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, you should only see these right here, and come to get access and just enter your email here. And I'll be able to give you access and assign you the rest of these.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be the one I registered with on 9 to 5.
Yeah, just send me the email that you registered with on that one.
Okay.
That's why I was like, people were saying, okay, boom. People were like, I'm signed up to the thing. I'm like, okay, Blue 33165. I do not know. Like, give me something to connect you.
Okay.
I'll give you access as soon. Okay, I've seen yours. See, like, and I can just come here and do that. And basically, I go through and I mark it off my list.
Okay.
And then I come back and I do like this.
Oh, perfect. Okay, there it goes.
But
Okay.
yeah, so now you have access to the rest of this stuff.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You are welcome. Man, the 6 minute. Okay, I haven't done my trade recap yet, so I need to keep that up there, but yep. Anybody else have any questions? I don't really know what to like. This is literally, I don't have time to do one-on-ones anymore. So to me, this was the best way for people. And what I found with the one-on-ones is that people really just want to come and like clarify a few things, and get practice with a few things. So I found that this was the best way to do it. So I don't particularly like teach on anything specific. Can I talk about retests? Yes. And I'll give you, we have a perfect example of that. Our 6 hour and 1 hour levels hit as well. Okay, so here's the perfect example of a retest. And I said this morning in the charting session. I was like, okay, I'll answer that one next. In the charting session, I was like, when a level breaks, or this might have been yesterday. Yesterday we had a bunch of stair-step demand levels that formed on us. Let me go to the 5 minute. Yeah, here they were down here. Dag, price moved a lot since yesterday. All of these little demands that we had in little stair steps, right? And so I was saying, if any of them break, you can take a retest off of the bottom of the zone down to the next zone. And if it breaks, you take a retest here. And here's a perfect example of that. Like if I go to today's,
I don't think we're looking at the
We
same.
can't see your screen.
oh, oops. Thank y'all. Okay, so let me go back and show this that I was looking at right here. So we had all these little stair step demands that formed in the overnight session. And I mentioned yesterday, like if any of these break, like if price breaks through them, like so, then you can take a retest. Like if it comes back up and retest the bottom of the zone, you can take it down to the next zone. And, this would have been like a 30-point move right here. And so a perfect example. Oh, Control Z works. That's nice. I was just trying it. A perfect example of that is what we had today from this 30-minute level, right? So this was the 30-minute demand that I traded. But once price broke this demand, you see how it came back up here to the zone? And this is what can happen a lot. Is it'll come back up to the zone, and that bottom of the zone now turns into support and resistance. And so you can play a retest off of the zone down to the next one. So this is just something else that you can do if you don't see like any particular zone to play, or if a zone that you were interested in, if price is moving crazy and it just breaks through, you can play the retest of that zone for a continuation down. Does that kind of make sense? I know I don't talk about retests a lot. Okay.
So with the retesting, I've noticed that it doesn't always like it's not always that like what's the word? Secure. I guess like secure. Yeah, like that's what I'm. Yeah, that's a good question. Like, where would you put the stop loss at? Because
Back at the
sometimes
top of the
it'll go
zone.
up further.
Yeah, I would put and see again, this is not something that's predictable. This is more something that like I feel like I would trade if I was comfortable because I've like been in the market a long time and you just see stuff and you get used to how it moves. For instance, if I was trading NQ, I wouldn't trade it because I'm not used to trading NQ. But because I know that this particular situation happens a lot on ES, I would, risk doing it. And in this case, the stop loss would be just above the top of the zone. But again, this is not like how I'm trading every single day. Would you have to wait for a close outside? Mm-mm. As soon any wick up through there, anything. But again, like this is not something I would trade like every day. I would only trade it if it was like a very clear, strong indication. This is like a continuation trade. You know how some traders are continuation traders, like they look for the trend, whether it's going up or down, and then they wait for a pullback and then they keep going with the trend. This would be one of those things. So like today at this high, we had so much resistance, like for a couple of days, like days back, there were wicks right here at this area. And so I knew that if we broke this area, we were likely to continue back up. But because it failed like over and over and over, and broke through this level, I would then identify, okay, we're continuing down. And so this is just my entry in to continue down. But this is not like how I trade, right? I trade supply and demand reversals primarily. And as you can see, we got good like moves today. But this would be something that like if I didn't have anything else going on, I would trade this. Okay, Sylvia, I'm at work, but I saw you started using touch zones, or did I always mark those? No, so today I did mark, you're talking about I think it was a 6 hour up high, and I said, oh yeah, you probably saw it in the daily levels. So the 6 hour that was up here, let me move to it. Okay, so this 6 hour supply, and I put that it had been tested twice already. So back where I found the 6 hour supply, it had been tested immediately after it formed. The next 6 hour candle touched it and rejected really hard. And then, like a couple days after that, we had a long wick inside of it and it rejected really hard. So the only reason I put this there, and I should probably start putting the recordings of the charting sessions somewhere. Maybe I can put the recordings of the morning charting somewhere. Because my reasoning for putting this here was because this level was sitting at an area where we had just like a lot of resistance across a couple of different time frames. And I was looking at this level to say if it breaks over this level, to watch it to continue higher after. Because it was a 6 hour zone, but it was also just a level that the Bulls couldn't get above over the last couple of weeks. So I knew that if they got above it today, we were probably gonna retest it and go higher. And we didn't have anything. You see how far away these supply zones are? We literally didn't like you see, look at this. You see how it looks all the way up to here? We didn't have anything at all. So I was like, this is just an important key level to keep in mind that we might be able to get a quick short out of it, but if we got here, we're probably going to keep going higher. That's what I was saying in the charting things. But yeah, you guys, I don't want it to get too like complicated, like you know what I mean? I don't want us to get too deep into the weeds. Like, I mean, if you're comfortable with it, then good. And I want you guys to keep learning. But if you're like, okay, well, that sounds a little crazy, that's too much, then like, don't even worry about it. Just focus on the fresh supply and demand zones. And like, you'll get there. You'll get there, eventually. Because again, I had my first, when did I have that call with Octavia? It was in December that I had like, she was doing like one-on-ones and I had like an hour call with her. And from December to now, like, I feel like I've, grown so much. Like you'll just keep doing the same things every day, get the basics down pat, and like you'll start to see some of these other things. So glad we got a clear move today. Okay. But yeah. Anybody have anything else? Oh, I might have. Hold on. I think I got some emails. My inbox is out of control.
Yes, what you went over just now was that the trade that you took this morning, like the 30-minute demand.
Look, yeah, you said go over it.
Yeah, because I mean, I wanted to know where you entered it. I mean, I entered the second time that you sent it out, but the first one is where I kind of like missed the.
Yeah. So am I on the 1 minute already? Let me zoom in. Okay, so the zone was formed back here in this area. Um, and well, let me keep it a little wide for a second. It was formed back here. So we started moving down towards it, and I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna get like a quick bounce. Was it here or was it not? Hold on. Actually, it wasn't until here. And I was like, okay, we're getting closer. Like, okay, cool. We can have a quick little bounce at the 30-minute. Didn't happen. Came up, moved down. I was like, okay, didn't happen. And if you look, these are kind of like short candles with like, like short stubby candles. But once we started getting these bigger moves down, I was like, okay, it's time to get ready. We're coming down into a zone with some force. That's what I like to see, with some force and a little bit of increasing volume. So if we look down here at these volume bars, as we were coming down, you see these bars like they had kind of gotten a little bit low. Um, this was the opening bars. They had gotten down to like the lowest they were going to get, and then we started pushing up with the volume as we came in here. So once I saw that the volume was increasing and we were getting these larger body candles going in, that was all I needed to take the trade. This was the level right here, 54, 55, and I pretty much looked at how long it was down to 54, 36. That's almost 20 points. And I looked over to the left because I'm on the 1 minute, right? Let me go to the 5 minute. And I looked over to the left and I was like, there was a little 5 minute demand right here. Like every time frame has demand, supply and demand levels, right? And I just looked over on the 5 minute to say, oh, well, is there anything inside of here? Because remember, when we have like 2 hour or 4 hour zones, I'm looking for like 1 hour, 30-minute demands inside to give me a better entry. So I said, do we have any demand levels in here? And sure enough, we had a 5 minute demand here and a 5 minute demand down here. Now, this demand had already been triggered, but I'm not thinking about these demand levels in terms of like really playing them. I'm not thinking them of how long they've been touched. I just want to see like where some bounce areas could be. And so I said, okay, well, we got something kind of shallow into the zone and a little bit deeper into the zone. So I was kind of looking at playing it close to here. So as soon as it traveled into the zone today, I took the trade. Let me go back to the 1 minute. Yep. And so I got in just shortly, not like at the bottom or anything, but I got in shortly after it crossed over. So somewhere a little bit lower into here, um, into this zone. But yeah, it's not that much. I feel like you guys just need to make sure that you're placing trades in what's it called? In like your paper platforms, because there's really not much to it. If you see price heavily going into a zone, it might be scary because you might be thinking, well, it's a lot of big red candles and it's a lot of volume. Like, what if it just keeps going through? It seems scary, it seems counterintuitive, but that's really all I need in order to enter a zone. Like this green line, or whatever color your lines are, that's your first set of permission slips. Like, okay, I have permission to enter the zone because it crossed here. Your second set of permission is like, what is it doing at the zone? And yesterday, what was our level yesterday? Because I said, I wonder if I can find it. We were down low yesterday. I think it was like right around here. No? Daggone it. Hold on, let me go to Discord real quick. Because I remember saying yesterday, price is at our level, but it's chopping around that supply zone. Yesterday at 10:26. Let me go find it. 23rd, 22nd. Okay, yesterday at 10:26. We had a level. Gosh, hold on. And the level was like, I don't remember exactly, but it was like somewhere like right around here. Let me go. Hold on. I'm gonna find it exactly. Let me look at what I posted yesterday. $52.83.75, I think. No. Well, dang, y'all. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you remove levels. 52.83. This was yesterday. 422. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay, so let me mark it 52.83.75. This will be a good example to show you guys of what like I don't like. Edit 52.83.75. Okay. Extend to the left. All right. So, okay, this was the 930 candle right here. And this was our level, this 52.83.75. And so what happened was it was coming up and moving kind of strong, but then it like started chopping back down. It started chopping right under the level. I'm like, look at how far away we were. We were $3 away from the level right here. This is 52.80. This is 52.83. It stopped and literally started chopping $3 away from the level. When I see that, that's like, oh, y'all are playing. Y'all are about to break through this level. And that's pretty much what happened. It broke through. There was a 30-minute demand inside that was right here at this level right here. And so we did get a move from the 30-minute demand down barely, like by the skin of our teeth. It took like an hour. But this would be an example of movement I don't like to see coming into a zone. Like if it starts chopping right around the zone, that's me thinking, okay, they're not serious about this level. Because if they were serious, they wouldn't be chopping around it. Like if you look at what happened today, right? It just boom, gave us a nice straight drop into the level. So I don't want to see like it's sitting around here for a minute and finally after it's sitting around, then it decides, you know what I mean? Then it decides to go in. It just gave us a nice drop, 54.90 down to 54.53. That's like a 40-point drop almost that it gave us 37 points. Like they were trying to hit this level for some reason or another. Right? The invisible the institutions needed to get to this level after all the wild like news candles that we had. Okay. Office hours. Okay, no, that's not it. Does anybody need help setting up their Thinkorswim chart or they're fine?
I followed the video that you made. I think it was in lesson 2 that you added, and I thought that that was so helpful. So thank you for adding that.
Okay, cool. Somebody asked, so I think I'll refer them to that. I'll refer them to that video. Is there anything else that you guys need that would be helpful? Oh, I owe you a supply and demand indicator, don't I?
I actually figured it out. I went to I just went to the link that you posted on your Discord and you just copy and paste that into that settings part. Because
Mhm.
originally I had just clicked on the link and tried to add it that way, it didn't work. But if you copy that link and you put it in that settings the way that you indicated in Discord, it works fine.
Oh, okay, good. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
perfect. Yeah, I was about to send you the script for it to set it up.
So
Um,
I've watched all your lessons on your website and I love the way that you broke them down. And I'm just wondering when you were starting, or do you recommend at all doing any back testing? So I use Thinkorswim and I know that you can do like the replay feature on there. Do you recommend doing that, or do you think it's more beneficial to like hop on the charts in the morning and then just mark your charts, your time frames, and then just watch it play out as the market's opening? Like, what do you recommend for learning?
both of them work. So it's whatever you have time for. The best is going to be real time. So
Hmm.
even if you're not placing orders, the best would be able to come onto the chart and watch it real time.
Hmm.
But if you can't, the Thinkorswim replay is a good one to use. I think it's called On Demand.
Yep.
TradingView has something called Replay. That one I don't like as much. It's more simple, and it was Thinkorswim is like old, and TradingView is like nice and modern. But TradingView, when you do the replay, you can do it by candlesticks. Even on the 1 minute, you're like getting a whole 1 minute candlestick. And I think with it, the Thinkorswim, it's really valuable to be able to see how the candle is forming as it
Right.
goes. So I would, yeah. So first option would be to chart and do see what you have in the morning. You said you trade NQ?
I do,
Not
yes.
Lexi. I think maybe Lexi trades NQ. But I was gonna say if you trade NQ, I would even suggest getting on an hour earlier at the 8:30 Eastern time. Because NQ has some good moves in between there too. But yeah, so live first and then Thinkorswim on demand second.
Okay, perfect. And for the game plans, I know that in your free futures video that you posted on your TikTok, I know that you said that you look at Octavia's game plans and you can like practice that way. Do you recommend writing out a game plan or um, just inputting the levels at the time frames?
Yeah, so this is up to you. I trying to think. It's up to you and your trading style. So I trade like a super short term, and I'm usually off the charts. Like today, I came back and I'm like, dag, the 6 hour level and the 1 hour level hit darn.
Mhm.
But I'm usually like off the charts by then. It's very helpful if people are longer, like day trading, the game plans are more helpful. But if I think it's a good practice to have to write them on yourself. I'm kind of the kind of trader where I'm just like looking for it to hit one or two levels and then I'm gone. So I'm not really like worried about where it's going throughout the day or long term. I just assess every morning. But if you're someone who's like really trying to gain a better understanding of how the market moves, where it's going, and like maybe longer term trends, maybe you want to swing trade in the future, things like that, then it would be helpful to write out a game plan
Mhm.
to get yourself a narrative of the whole day. And
Right.
starting to write a game plan can be hard. So
Yes.
tips for that, my tips for that would be like bare minimum, my tips for that would be one, analyze what it did in the overnight session, analyze what it's done since yesterday. So like today would have been simple. Like we had a continued move from the Globex session or overnight with a gap up, like boom, and then analyze your like kind of look back on the chart, make sure you have a wider vision. Let me let me go to like the 30 minute. Kind of give yourself a wider view of the chart and identify where those larger time frames highs and lows would be. So like yeah, we can have some little levels in between here, but ultimately if price is going to continue higher, it has to beat this level, you see?
Hmm.
And if price is going to continue lower, it has to beat this level.
Right.
And then if we go to gap down, does that kind of make sense?
Yep.
Okay, what it did yesterday, wide, swing high, and swing low. That's where you can start and then, improve from there. Do you wait for after news to trade or it doesn't matter as long as you have a good setup? That's a good question. So, unfortunately, the answer is it depends. So, ironically, like news does respect our levels. So like let's say price was hanging around right here. Let's say we didn't have this 30-minute level and price was hanging around right here. If we had like what do they call it? Like red folder news, like the news is very impactful. If we had like a red folder news event, literally I've seen it where it will come down, hit our level to the tick, and then like bounce back up. So like news does still respect supply and demand zones. Um, like it's not like supply and demand is thrown out of the window just because we have news, but because it's so volatile, it just depends. Like if news is at 10 o'clock and I see something in between the 9:30 and 10 o'clock time frame, yeah, I'll trade it because there's still like 30 minutes in there. FOMC happening at 2 and 2:30. Like I think the interest rate is released at 2 and then he speaks and gives comments at 2:30. Yeah, I'm trading in the morning. I'm trading all day long. Some people have rules where they don't. But I found that news still does, like, it's very volatile and crazy at times. Like single candles can be, but they still respect supply and demand levels. And the last time we had FOMC, we had a huge move, but it still stopped right at the S&D level that was nearby. So yeah, did that answer the question? I don't know if that did. But like if it's like 9:45 and it's something crazy, like yeah, I'll wait until after 9:45. I'll wait until after 9:45. But if it's far away, I don't think about it. Okay, well that's our time. It's 1 o'clock. I might do more of these. Like I might try to increase these to 2 times a week, but again, you don't feel like you have to join every single one. We're just gonna be talking about the same things. So if you have any questions or whatever, just let me know. And if you are not on the Discord yet, I'm trying to change it so that everything is on Discord so like I can like provide updates and commentary. It's just easier and faster for me. And so I'm changing it so that to watch the videos you have to type in a password and the password is just the word futures in all caps. It's in the Discord where it says that, but just letting you know. And it'll change monthly, so just stop back by and check out the new password. And I'm saying it'll change monthly, but I'll probably forget because I forget everything.
Can I get the indicator?
Yeah. Where did I put it? Hold on. Copy. It's in chat. Oh, actually, it's the first link that's in the chat, but I'm gonna type it again. Okay, it came. Okay, in your Thinkorswim settings, click open. Yes, settings, open shared item, then copy that and paste it there. And if you need, this is like the picture that goes with it. I hope if you can see the picture. Like that's what it looks like where you press open in settings.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yep, you're welcome. Ooh, all right, I will see y'all. Tomorrow's Thursday. I will see y'all in the morning.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.